Today it's gonna be a black and white photo walk, and who knows, maybe I'll even have some black and white tips for you guys. Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto. I'm a photographer and a Lumix ambassador. And today I'm gonna take a black and white photo walk. And I might even have some black and white photo tips for you guys. And I'm so happy we finally have a decent weather for a photo walk. We have had some pretty winter days lately, but it's been so cold and too uncomfortable to take a photo walk and concentrate on photography. But today it's so pretty and it's only -8 degrees and almost no wind. So there could not be a better winter day for a photo walk. But let me find my first photo and then I'll talk about my camera settings and my black and white philosophy and I don't know, photography in general. I think I just found my first picture, and by the way, I'm walking on a frozen sea at the moment, just in case you're wondering why there's so much flat landscape here. There's that ice snow formation. I think there's a rock under that formation, and I'm gonna place it in the foreground, and that's gonna fill my foreground nicely, and then I'll just take the flat ice in the background and I'm gonna see if that's gonna be a keeper or not. I'm using aperture priority. I'm shooting at f5.6, which is gonna give me 1/2000 of a second exposure time, and yeah, this looks quite nice actually in black and white. And not such a bad start for the day, I think. And the reason I'm shooting black and white is that I haven't shot black and white for a while. And I also like to give myself some sort of assignment every time I go out for a photo walk. And I guess it's because of my professional background. When working professionally, you always have some sort of assignment. And I think I feel more comfortable if I have some sort of assignment and I can concentrate better on what I'm doing. Of course, black and white is not such a restricted or restricting assignment. It's very loose. I can shoot almost anything, but still at least it's something. And now I'm gonna take another picture and then I'm gonna talk about my settings and my gear a little bit. And here's my next picture, I think. Those rocks in the foreground and those trees are gonna frame my shot and they're gonna give me some foreground, and again the flat sea ice is gonna be my background. Let's see what comes out. Again, I'm using aperture priority. I'm at f5.6 and that's gonna give me 1/4000 of a second. It's so bright back there. But those rocks and trees are making a really nice framing for my background here. Oops, it's quite slippery here. I found an interesting little detail here. These little small minor ice formation here and that shadow from the bigger ice formation. I think I can make something nice out of those two, the shadow and the ice formation here, some little detail. Let me try. And again, I'm using aperture priority f5.6 and that's gonna give me 1/2000 of a second at base ISO 200. And yes, I think this is gonna work. The shadow and the tiny ice formation, they make a nice composition and a nice little detail here. And my camera today is the Lumix G90 and my lens is the Leica 25mm f1.4, one of my favorite micro four thirds lenses. And because I'm shooting black and white, I turned on the monochrome photo style on my camera. And I also turned on the orange digital filter. And that is because I'm, of course, shooting raw and I'm post-processing these pictures in Lightroom. But in Lightroom, I'm very likely to use also orange or yellow filter, digital filter. So the orange filter, in-camera orange filter, is going to help me to see my pictures more like the final picture is going to be after my post-processing. But of course, the preview that I see in camera is more like a reference view because I never know exactly how I'm going to post-process each and every frame. But enough of talk, let's find something else or some more to photograph. I think I've found another interesting detail here, and if I go low enough, I think it's gonna look quite interesting, and I may even be able to get the sun in the frame too, and that might even look more interesting. Let's give it a try. I'm again at f5.6. Somehow it's my constant aperture today. Base ISO 200 and 1/4000 of a second. And indeed, the sun looks quite interesting, even though I'm not sure if this is gonna be a keeper or a masterpiece, but it looks quite interesting anyway. Let's try another little bit higher angle too. Only slightly higher. I'm gonna back up a little bit and go slightly higher so I can get the horizon in the background and lose the sun from the frame. So this is gonna be a slightly different framing. It's so pretty here and I'm so happy I came today. I've been here many times in the summer but never in the winter. And it really is worth it. And it's not even far away from where I live. But now I'm gonna find one more picture and then I'll talk a bit about how to expose properly in this kind of bright, snowy environment. Okay, I didn't have time to set up my video camera for this shot. There were some skiers back there on the ice and I wanted to catch them to give some like a scale to my picture. So I took my picture and here it is. Again, I was at f5.6, aperture priority 1/4000 of a second, and pretty much the same exposure as in every picture today. This kind of snowy, bright environment can be a bit tricky when it comes to exposure, and it's a common advice to overexpose one or even two stops in conditions like this. But I would advise you to practice with your camera and know your camera and know the limits of your camera, because too much overexposure can easily destroy all these delicate white or bright tones that we have in a scene like this. And you want to have this very soft highlight roll-off in your pictures so you can preserve all those delicate light tones that you're gonna have if you shoot in a place like this. I want to have at least one picture of a tree, but this is probably not gonna be it. It doesn't look interesting enough, so I just gotta keep looking. It looks like I'm not gonna get my tree picture today, but it doesn't matter. I'll survive even without that. And a photo walk is always some kind of a surprise. You never know what you're gonna get, but it's still important to take photo walks and keep on practicing, because that's the only way to get better and develop as a photographer. But now I think I'm done with today's photo walk. I'm gonna head back home for a hot cup of coffee. But you, if you have nothing better to do, take a look at my playlist of my other photo walks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.